Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you enjoyed the Derby cross video yesterday. I enjoyed making it, just a quick service. It just shows you guys what you can do. Today I've gone back to the paint for the tank, the said L600. It's really disheartening when your paint goes wrong, guys. Really disheartening, but you've done so much prep work that the next bit's quite easy. So I've now scuffed this and sorted out any areas that were dodgy. I spoke to Nat and Nat said just don't bother with stickers, just do it in one colour. He's right. It's stickers where it's gone wrong. There is a way of doing stickers, but you have to be clever with it. You either put a base colour on, let's say red, then you put the sticker over the red, then you paint black, then you peel the sticker off while it's wet, then you clear coat it. You can do something like that, or you can bottom coat it, wait 3 days, put a flat sticker on, clear coat it, wait 3 more days. That should be okay as well. But what I did was bought the 3D sticker that didn't stick because the paint was fresh, blah blah blah, pain in the arse, and that's what happened. The other thing is I didn't use enough clear. It looks like it goes on really thick, guys. It looks like it's gone on really thick, so I didn't even use the little can. This time I'm going to use the whole little can, make sure we get every inch out of it so that it's the thickest we can get. And actually, in hindsight, if I'm ever painting a tank again, I'm going to use the double size can. I'm going to get the big size. I think it's 500. I think this is 300. I'm going to get the 500 and I'll use that, and it'll be a really thick shine and it will last longer. For now though, I'm not even going to film this, guys. I'm just letting you know it's going on. Base coat, sprinkle of the dusting of silver, all of the clear. It's going to take me about an hour. It's going to hang here. It's very warm tonight. It should be fine by tomorrow to be flattened down, if not Sunday, and then the tank's kind of back on task. When I was scuffing this, I used 800 dry, and it kind of only just took the peaks off. So I kind of get where Nat's coming at now when he says you can start at 1500 but you'll just be there longer. That kind of now makes more sense to me. So maybe 1000 grit, I might get 1000 grit or 1200 wet next time, then 15, then 2, or 18, then 2, and I might just do it a little bit more better, but I don't want to mess up again. I want this to be the final product. So I'll show you some updates, but I'm not going to show you the process. All you need to know is that this tank's going to be done and dusted, hopefully over the next couple of days, and then the bike will be a bike that starts on the button over the next couple of days, and it will be ready to go to MOT very, very soon. Each coat will be 5 to 10 minutes in this heat. So tack coat already on. I'm going to pull out the Derby again, the cross, and just start looking at the brakes. Get the brake shoes off the rear because I think they're pretty thin, and start looking at the front brake service that it needs, or switch it to the new caliper that was given to put on, or second-hand caliper. So let's pull it out and we'll have a good look. So here you go, here's the front caliper. Apparently this caliper stuck, it got seized. That could be two things. That can be this arm here, which is solid. That's the floating arms. Oh, hang on, I've got some movement there. They definitely need greasing. That can cause issue. And then of course the pistons themselves, they might need popping out a touch, cleaning, greasing and putting back in. That will be the only issue that goes wrong. Nothing else will go wrong with these. So it needs its brake service, that's all. It doesn't need replacing. So I'm not going to replace it on this occasion. I will of course test it thoroughly before I give it back, but no point putting on a new one if it's not needed. Everything when it goes back in, give it a bit of grease. Nothing major because it's near the brakes. A clean tiny bit of grease maybe. On the pins, on the actual nuts, put a bit of grease on them so it can be serviced. Give the pads a clean with brake cleaner. That's it, nothing else, no grease near that at all. Pop the pistons out, give them a clean tiny bit of grease, pop them back in. And these need grease as well, the floating arm. That's how it works. It floats out as the pads get thinner. So basically a service. I've shown you guys plenty times before how to do it. All I would do now is literally press the brake a little bit and pop these pins out. If one come out faster than the other, I would hold one, press it again, the other will come out and join it. Get them out kind of halfway, give them a clean, spray them lots with cleaner, tiny bit of grease on them, push them back in. That should be it. There's no other reason why it would stick. You could, if they looked really bad, pop them all the way out, give them a full clean, let all the fluid drip out, and put new fluid in, and then you've done the works. I'll have a look at what the fluid looks like to see where we go from here, but I doubt we should need to. So that front brake is fully serviced now, guys. Now I have to admit, it was in good nick. It was in good condition. Gave the pistons a bit of a clean. They were not corroded, they were not rusted. Put a bit of grease on them, cleaned it all up, put it all pistons back in, pads, clean them up a little bit, put them back in. It is fine. Clean the slides up, back in. No logical reason why they seized up. I know why they seized up though. The retaining carrier at the bottom was skew with. So it's this one here, right? That wasn't sitting in the right place. You see now it's sitting right at the bottom where it should be. That's fine. That was out of place, as in that was bent. That's why it seized up. The actual caliper was in very good condition, and that bottom plate is now in perfectly. Plenty bite, front brake is working perfectly. I'm going to have a little look at the rear brake. I'm going to put some WD on the chain just to kind of loosen it up. It's fine, it needs it to kind of sort it out. WD-40 is fine for a chain, guys. It is not the best thing to use on a chain, only because it's not the best for the chain in regards to it doesn't work the best. WD-40 does not harm a chain. It will flicker off. There are much better products out there, but if you've only got WD, it will not hurt the chain. Use it, it's fine. Now I was worried about these pads looking low, so I'm going to pop this rear caliper off, see what the pads look like. If they are low, I'll take them out and I'll take them to the mechanic with me tomorrow to see if they have them on the shelf. That's kind of the easiest, quickest way to deal with some of this stuff. Otherwise you could be online messing around forever. I think I'm third coat on the tank. You can see it from here, it looks good. I believe I'm third coat, so I'm going to move up to probably 2 more. Ooh, what's this? There's kind of some sort of reaction there, but there was nothing on it except for a tiny bit of brake cleaner that I use. Well, a lot of brake cleaner, but that should not. It was long dry. I'm gonna need to keep an eye on that. It's tempting to put a finger on that, guys. Don't put your finger on that. I'm gonna spray a couple of lighter coats and see if that fills in lightly. I'm gonna keep spraying, and then we'll look at letting that dry maybe, and then sanding it flat before we top coat it. So if you get anything like that and it looks like something's reacting, just wait, just spray a bit lighter, see how it goes, and then I don't know, maybe stop. Like, it wouldn't hurt now. I'm going to try another layer or 2 to see how it looks, see if it fills that in or if it keeps reacting. If it keeps reacting, I'll stop, I'll give it a sand in that area and put on an extra couple of layers tomorrow, rather than at this stage messing with clear, because anything can cause this, guys. Something could have dripped, it could have been something I left on there. It shouldn't have been, but it could have been. So whatever's reacting with the paint, there's kind of no point continuing. So a couple more coats. It seems okay. I'm going to give this next one 15-20 minutes to dry a bit more before clear. Not before clear, I'm going to be putting on the kind of sprinkler coat, which will, any minor imperfections, that will kind of take the eye away from it. That's what a kind of sprinkler coat is for, really. It is interesting that, look, it's still there. Have to be careful with that. It might be worth stopping here, wait until tomorrow, let it dry, sand it. In fact, guys, that's what I'm going to do. I'm done. I'm going to let it sit for 15-20 minutes, however long I'm here, put it back in there. It's going to dry overnight, give that a light sanding, go over a couple more coats. There is no point continuing, because whatever that is causing that, it's going to be a pain. It might have even been that not mixed properly when I shook it. So, but yeah, trust me, you wouldn't carry on now. Let it dry, give it a touch of a sand, go over it again tomorrow. So that's it. No more spraying on that tonight. When you're finished with your can, guys, tip it upside down, spray it. When clear comes out, you've cleared the nozzle, and it will be ready to use again another day. that can stay up there for a bit drying, then it's going in there, and then we'll continue it tomorrow. You have to kind of sometimes know your limits. Right, let me pop this rear caliper off, see what the pads are, take them with me if they need it to get new ones. So the rear, similar story. The slider was seized fairly solid, so that needs grease. That's dry, that's in a bad state. The pads are fine, they've got enough life left. Look, not worth changing them yet. Same with that one, it's got enough life left. They need a clean though. And again, the retaining clip just wasn't quite right. It looks like someone's done a home service and just not got it quite right. It just needs to be clipped in a certain way. The rear brake wasn't an issue anyway, but noticing that stuff nice and early can be handy. So a bit of a clean up, get some grease packed into there so that the sliders are working, put it back together. The rear brake should be fine. I'm going to punch the piston out now and just make sure it's all good. Give it a quick clean, tiny bit of grease in there, back on. This bike should be MOTable at that stage, as long as all the lights and stuff work, which I think they do. And I need to throw some air in the tyres, they're a bit low. So there you go guys, beautiful job done there. Rear brake, excellent. This bike's ready for an MOT. Tomorrow I've got that one going to an MOT, so this might have to wait till next week, although I might be able to do the double tomorrow. It's definitely a potential. I have to think about that. The battery's not in this at the moment because it's at home on charge. I just jumped it yesterday, didn't I, with leads. Don't worry about this kind of fine surface rust. This will come off on the way. All you do is run the brake a little bit, so just keep your foot on it a little bit and it just kind of beds it in and wears it out. Also, I've WD-40'd the chain, so that can have a bit of a clean for further down the line. All you do is put a rag on it, bit more WD, put a rag on it, run it around, not with the engine on, guys. Run it around, and you'll have a nice clean chain there. Although saying that, I need to get a good chain cleaner for the ER5 anyway, so I might go and buy a really nice professional one, as that kind of does all of that crap. That's kind of it really for this bike. I think I'll be popping off the exhaust and putting a little high temp paint on it to keep it protected. Otherwise it's going to fall apart, it won't last much longer. So I'm going to try and save the exhaust now while I still can, but the idea would be to get the MOT done first, and then that would take an hour max.